Okay, so welcome to this live webinars, which we will be running every day from 9 to 10. And the objective is to practice data analytics using pandas and Python. I can see there are two people there, so if you have questions you would like to ask, so you can ask your questions by going to menti.com and entering this number, and then you can start asking questions, and the questions will come on the screen and I will answer them one by one as much as I can. Those I cannot answer during the webinar and I feel they are more important, we can answer them later through different means, maybe creating a video or doing anything else. I can also allow you later to vote on those questions or select the questions that you think are more important. So you will be seeing on your mobile. By the way, you can do this through your mobile. So you go into your mobile and go to the browser of your mobile and enter menti.com, and then you will be asked to enter this number. So you enter this number 427664, and there you can ask the questions. You just ask any questions related to the subject we're discussing today, and I will show you live how we can do this. And this way I think you feel more freedom to ask any questions. You don't feel that, oh, this question looks like stupid, I'm not going to ask it. Just ask any questions, and in these things, in programming especially, any questions will have value to someone. I can see a question already on the screen, which asking about, I have started importing Excel files for the students to do some basics analysis, but I am having trouble without covering list. Can you give an example of what a question may look for an assessment? Okay, that's good questions, and we'll do that. I can see that one question already in place, and there are 12 people live. That's a good start for us. And also I can see people asking question on the chat on YouTube itself. So I can see, hello doctor, how are you? Thank you very much. Okay, very good, excellent. So before I jump, I'll come to those questions one by one and answer them all when they grow up and become more in the list. So we'll come back to them. Let me switch now to the introduction. I'll just do a quick introduction. There's a long slides here, but I'm not going to do all of them because we'll spend the next few weeks going through all those slides about data analytics. But I'll give quick introduction, then we'll get into the practical side. So we'll see some coding, we'll make some mistakes, we'll show where you could have done a mistake. And I know sometimes just a small mistake can take you lots of time. So I want to reduce that type of mistakes that you may do by highlighting them and giving you examples of that. So basically data analytics is very important, and I think you now know that data analytics are very important because everywhere people are talking about it. And you look at the skills for 2020 and things like that, you will find data analytics is coming high on that list. And data analytics is not someone who just specialize in it and become expert. That is there, but also there are people who use it for their work. And at any level, you will find yourself dealing with data analytics. Okay, so I can see answer please. I will answer me please. Okay, I will do. I'm not going to type on the chat, but I'm answering as I can see the questions. Okay, so these are the things we will do. We'll someone will ask, why are we doing this through Python and pandas? Why don't we use Excel, for example? It's a good question. Challenge with Excel, if your file is huge and if you want to automate some of the processes and data keep updating and you're getting data from different sources, Excel will not be able to handle that one. And you will find it wastes your time and doesn't allow you to produce the analysis that you would like to have. So what we'll be doing, we're using Python. Now we are familiar with Python, and then through Python using pandas, which one of the packages. You've seen Turtle, and Turtle was good for drawing. This is similar to Turtle in terms it's a package from Python that allow you to simplify the process of data analysis. So let's just jump into quick examples, and then those slides you will see them. There are videos we recorded, and you will go through them. But let me just get you into a live example, and I would recommend that you have your computer with you so you can follow me and do some of that if you can, and watch this presentation which I'm talking about on your phone or iPad or any tool that you have, so you don't just watch. So let me jump into the code. So here, this is the browsers as you're familiar with, and I'm here looking at Azure Notebook. Basically, if you type in any browser Azure Notebook, you will get the list of links, and one of it is this one. So Azure Notebook is from Microsoft, and it's free. Anyone can join, can connect. So you can sign in. If you're not signed in, let me assume I'm not in. So I come to a screen like this. You click on sign in, then you will be presented by this window. Do you see my screen clear on your computer or your iPad? Signal good, everything is fine. Just write a note about it in the chat if you want. So you can click here and use any account and you can register, but also you can use HCT account. For me, I already have the account, so I'll go into HCT account and we'll go there. Now, I had a question about the list, which I'm going to answer that questions through an example. So once you are in the Azure, by the way, you can do the same thing using Ripple.it. I will show you an example of how to use Ripple. But Ripple is not the best platform for data analytics. And the one we're using here called Jupyter Notebook is the industry standard. And it's the one that we will be looking at. Getting some few things on the screen. Okay, it is a bit blurry on my end, okay, but I can see the general frame and outlook. Yeah, maybe you can select different resolution. If you click on, yeah, the maximum is 360. I can see that. Yeah, but I'm looking at it from another screen, which seems to be somehow okay on my computer. Maybe you need to get a little bit higher resolution. Maybe there's something on my side I can adjust my setting. I'm using a software called OBS, Open Broadcast System, which allow you to stream to YouTube, Facebook, to everything. I'm sure there is some settings that I need to do to fix that. I will look at that one later. Now, once you are here, then you need to look at the libraries. Libraries are the folders that you create where you put your files. So let's go there, and this is the libraries. I have many libraries. Let's just create new one just for today, and we will call it daily webinar. Yeah, okay, let's call it daily webinar, and that's the name of the library. And inside I can say DW, yeah, just short ones, I remember it hopefully. So once you create a library, then the library, what you can do, it needs more than that, ICT 203. So once you create the library, inside the library you can upload anything you want. So library is where you create your folder. It's like a folder which you use to do whatever you want to do. I will now create an application. So after you go into the library, let me show you this again, you click on this plus and you create your first application. So we'll say first application, first app. Now important that you remember, you select the version. So from now on we'll be dealing with 3.6. When we used Turtle, we were using 2.7. Yeah, so there are slight differences between the 2.7 and 3.6, and I will show you those differences when we get to it. But to get pandas to perform the best and use the latest version of pandas, we need the 3.6. So we'll go with 3.6, click on new, and now the first app is created, and I click on it. I will try to increase the screen, just takes few seconds to load, still trying to load, and I think it is loading. I'm looking at the live streaming and looking at my screen. There is a little bit of delay between the two, and that's expected. So now I am into Jupyter notebook. I'll just increase the size so as much as I can, so you can maybe see what I am looking at. I think I went too much, but now this should be fine. Okay, now on the Azure notebook, I think you're all familiar. Let me see if anyone asking another question. Just only one question we have. It's okay. So here it's same thing as what we used to do with Ripple. We can do anything. So we can say x equal 10, and then we can say y equal x plus 20, and then we can come and print say x and y. You noticed one thing I did here? I used the bracket. In Turtle or in Ripple, we are not required to use the bracket. If you remove the bracket, it will work. But here, because we're using 3.6, these two brackets are very important. So you need to remember to keep the bracket. And you will find those brackets in most programming languages nowadays, Java and other, they are needed. So keep those brackets in there. So this one just basically printing x and y. Okay, these are cells. Now if you didn't watch any of those videos, those cells are very important because each cell can be executed on its own. So if I want to create a new cell, I add here, this is the second cell, and I can maybe copy the print from here and put it here. And to run any cell, you press on run, that's one, so like I did now, or you press control and at the same time you press enter, so that will come to you. Now let's get now in some data analytics and reading files and doing stuff like that, so we can practice data analytics, and then we'll come back to those cells and what we can do. First, if you have an Excel file, you can upload it from here. You go here and upload it. By the way, in the UAE, there are so many open data. So if I say here, open, I go to browser, open data UAE. Open data, those are data available that you can use for your analysis. And again, Bayanat is one of the places you can go to. and these data are free to use, open to use, and they are actual data based on different things. So you can look at all those data sets here. This thing about economy, about education, about science, which you can download. So if you download an Excel file, look at education, maybe something we're more familiar with, and there's something about education facilities and education outcomes and higher education. All these things, like what are the universities, how many students they have, how many faculty, how many people with PhD, all those details, you will find it here, and you can download an Excel file and use it in your analysis. So there are enough data for you to find, and data is almost everywhere, and if you want to do that. So let's go back to our application. Just one small thing I want you to notice. Here I have the Jupyter notebook is open, but my folders and everything are here on the other tab. So I can go between these two tabs and see what I have. Now I will upload just the file that I already have. Hopefully I'll find it quickly. This one, Superstore. Yeah? So there is a file here, and I'll just go and upload it. So notice what I did. I went to data, I want to upload, and then here I selected the file from my computer and said open. Now it will ask me something important, which I mentioned in one of the videos. If you click start uploading, your file will go somewhere. Will go really in the root. So you need to know where it is and do what. But if you wanted to go in the same folder where you have your application, you just select here and click on library, and then this will get you there. So now file is being uploaded, and it is uploaded. So how I can find out that it's uploaded? I go back to this folder here and refresh. Then by refreshing the screen, I see the file is just uploaded. Here it is. So the file is there. So I come back here and do that. Now I'll answer that question about the list. I will show you how we do it. Now first thing, we need to import pandas. This is the same as we did with our friend turtle. Yeah. So import pandas instead of turtle, now pandas, and we're using PD. PD stands for pandas. You can use anything, but if you go and look at any code, you will find most codes are using PD. So stay with PD better than coming with a new one, and then you need to change the code that you use from somewhere else. Now this data, which we have it in the Superstore, we need to save it into a variable. So we'll call it data, for example. Sorry. Call it data, and then how we can read it again, pd dot read underscore Excel, yeah, open close bracket, and then here you put the file name. What is the file name? It's Superstore. Now I'll show you something. If we do, we'll get. Now I run this cell. Now how I know it's not running? Yeah. There's something with the file extension. That's one thing. Yeah. XLSX. I don't know what the extension of that file, but let's look. Yeah, it's good. It's the right extension. So remember the extension, and then we do that and run. Now look at these errors. Let me run it, and then it's loading it. It's huge data. It takes some time to load it, but now everything is stored into data, so I can work with data. Always good you examine those errors. Assume I go back and make the same error and click here. Sometimes it's too lengthy, yeah? But what you need is at the end, file not found. This is really the most critical one. The file is not found because the name is not correct. No such file or directory. The other things, because this line read Excel, it's part of a huge software or program or classes and object and package, so it gets and go to everything and give you so many information. But you didn't need that one. You know that you just missed the extension of that file. Good. So now data, we have it, and the first thing you need to do when you read the data, you look at the head and the tail. So you look at the head, so data. Anything we need to do now with data, we need to start by data because it's our variable. Now you will see so many documentation people use df, yeah? Again, that's fine. df or any variable you like, it doesn't make any difference because this one in your hand, you decide whatever you want to call it. So I'm going with df. And one thing I want you to notice, when I went and changed df, I did run this cell, because if I do not run it, it still use data, so it will give me an error. And this is why every time you change a cell, you go and run it by either clicking here, or you just use Control Enter. On Mac or Windows, the same thing. So now we want to show the first 10 lines of our code or our data. So head is that the first 10 lines, 5 lines, sorry. And this is coming now, you can see here, starting from 0, 1, 2, and data here. And it's big data, yeah? Table is too big, yeah? You see, there's so many things in that table. But we're just showing now the first 5. There are 5 rows and 21 columns in what we're showing now. If I want to know how many rows in this data, instead of displaying everything, I can find this by saying len. Len is the length of your data, so len df. This will tell you now how many records. There are 9,994 records. We saw just only the first 5 of it, but it's huge data. So that's what we have seen so far. Now I'll add another cell, just give it here. Now, examining this one, you will find the first one, this one starts by 0, 1, 2, 3. This we call it index. And if you read the data as it is, the default index is this, from 0 to a number of data minus 1, yeah? That's it. But you can change that index. We'll come to changing index and why we need to change the index. What the benefit we get from changing index. We'll come to that when we come to the index. Okay, so that's the index. Then the first column, second column, third column, and the whole column to the end of the columns, yeah? Now, if I want to get the data of any column, like this one, yeah, I just want to find what are the data stored in only that column, yeah, not all columns. Okay. So what I can do here, basically I can say df. df is my data frame. Again, that's another terminology. This they call it data frame, and this is why there is df. Pandas put the data in sort of format like a table, 2-dimensional heads, which are the columns and rows, and that called data frame. So now we need only one column data, so we put this way. So this is the way, again, df, open square bracket, and then quotation. Single, double, doesn't make difference, but you cannot mix them, yeah? You need to be all the same. Now, notice the header name has a space in between. And this is why it is between quotations, because quotation help you use anything that has space or special character. And if you do that, now we'll get all the data that are only in that column. Now, basically, it will not show you all the data, because otherwise it will take the whole screen. It did show me only until 29, and then jumped into the last group. But if I write it to an external file, I'll find all the data. I don't need to see all the data on the screen, but I need to get an idea. So now this order ID stored into this list. Now if I come here and call it, for example, I want to store it in a new variable. So I can call it order ID, a new variable, equal. So now this whole data of that column stored into one variable. So now it's one variable. One thing you notice that if when I used to have no equal like this, when it was like this, when I run it, I get the data coming on the screen. As soon as I assign it to a variable by doing this, the data will not come on the screen. It will wait for me to request displaying the data. So the way I can request displaying data, I come here and say order ID and press enter. That control enter. This way to do it. The other way you can do it, you can use the word print, keyword print, and you can print this one. So there are so many order IDs into this table. I'm getting closer to the question of the list, which you will need. But now, back to this. This is basically importing an Excel file that way. Now this file we imported has only one sheet, so we just went that way. But if there are more sheets and I want any specific sheet, I can add comma here and say sheet name equal, and then here I can put the name of that sheet. You know, in Excel you have multiple sheets, and this way I force it to read specific sheet. Otherwise, it will always read the first sheet on your data. Okay. Now, mistakes you could have done in this step is you change anything in a cell, and you expect without running it, and you expect the next cell will know about it. It will not know unless you run that cell. So now going back here, I want to look at one important thing. If you look at here, ship mode, yeah, ship mode, there are ship modes there, yeah, so many things. You know, have 99994. So there's 994 record. But are all the data in this one are unique? Means each line has a different ship mode, or there are only few of them. Shipping mode is usually few shipping modes. So how I can find what are the unique values in this one? Unique means that are just not repeated, yeah? So let's stop this. I don't want this printing. Let's say, now by the way, this cell I'm working with, you can work with it. When we finish, I will send you the link, so you can go and find all these things and you can play with it further and do whatever you want to do. Now I need the unique, yeah? So back DF, and which one I'm dealing with? So I'm dealing with ship mode, yeah? Shipping mode, this is the one. So basically if you just copy it like this, is better than you type it, because maybe there is a space in the middle you don't know about it. Now if I do just like this, I'll get again the 29999 record, yeah? But I need only the unique values in that. So you can use here a command called unique, okay? And if you run, now we're getting only few. There is second class, standard class, first class, same day delivery or same day. So there are only those four values repeated in that column 9,994. The unique values are only those four unique values. This one, if you look at it, beside it, you see the word array. An array basically means this is sort of a list where it has some data. So let's store this one in something called ship mode equal. Okay, now we have this variable ship mode, and if you come here and say print ship mode 0, you will get the first one. Why I'm saying that? Let me just show you the first print ship mode without anything. Now this is the ship mode. As we said, we have those four components. These components are a list, they call it, or array, as you have seen. And the array, if you need to get the value of the first array, you use index 0. Second array, you index 1, and so on, because the array starts by 0. So if I want to say print, and I want the second one here, so I can say print ship mode, use square bracket and put 1. 1 means the second one, yeah? So this way I will get the second one, which is under class. I hope this one answer your question about the list. Again, we can use a for loop and go through this list and do some manipulation. We will not jump to it now because that will come later into our class. Let me see the questions. I think, yeah, the question about the assessment, I'll come to that one, but I am having trouble without converting covering list. Yeah, you still can do all these things without covering list, but again, we can do that. Okay, so where is the screen? I am here. Yeah. Now I didn't see that many questions. I can see some more comments on the chat, but please show me some questions so I can answer those questions. Do you want me to repeat anything? Is there anything was not clear on what I said, so I can go and repeat it before I move to the next thing I would like to talk about? Please, either you add it here or you add it in the question. Select any place you would like to add your questions, and I'll do that. So let's recap again. I'm not sure if I am going fast or going slow. It depends on who's listening to me and what you want me to do. But if you think I'm going fast, just let me know. If you think I'm going slow, let me know. Just that will give me an indication of how you feel about this. I can later add some maybe questions to you to ask your opinion, feedback. Okay, so back to those steps. I think first thing you will do just those reading Excel files, and we'll look at a few things. So first thing is importing your pandas, then you storing the data. I will be repeating so many times those things because I'm expecting you will come and go, and I don't mind. I just want you really to succeed in this one, and I want you to just get those things and get prepared for what you want to do. So I will be repeating, and I hope you don't mind that I'm repeating myself many times. With programming, repeating and repeating is a way to get things solid and move to the next step. So importing and using the function read, and that's it. Now there are a number of things in this function that we did not use yet. Yeah, again, if you look at the videos that we already have, they are there. But one of it, as I said, the sheet name equal, and here this is maybe sheet 1. I need to look at that file, and then I can say if it is really sheet 1 or where is that file. I will find it later. That's the sheet name. And the other thing we have, now my computer hung for a reason. Okay, fine. It's came, just you don't see what I'm doing because on purpose I'm not showing you what I'm doing. Let me just open this file. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there are so many sheets in this file, and this is very good. There is one called orders, which the one we're dealing with now. There is something called returns, and there's someone called people. Yeah, people. There are only 4 people there, but let's. This is very good. So I'll go back now, and here our sheet name is orders. Yeah, orders. Is that the way it is written there? Yes, that's orders. So I go back and call it orders and run this one again and run the head. It's running fine. Yeah, just loading it. Now that the orders, let's open one here. We'll call it just orders. So I'm changing now. If you follow me, you will get a little bit lost. But I'll try to recap and slow again. So now I change this one, I call it orders because it's a sheet orders. Then the other sheet I have, which named returns. I think those people who return some of the returns need S, otherwise it will be an issue. Why I said that? I think you know. Because return is one of the functions or keywords in Python, but with adding S it becomes something different. So this one is returns. Okay, the next one is people. I call people. I need pd dot read, and here it is people. Okay, I'm just looking at my sheet, just make sure I have the correct name. So these are the 4 sheets. Okay, so it's loading it now. It's taking some time. You can see the star is still there. That means it's still loading. Alisa, are you still there? We cannot see the screen. Can you change the view? Oh, we didn't. Oh, sorry. Oh, you're there. Good. I have to switch to the view. Oh, sorry. Okay. I'm sorry for that. I have to watch my other screen practicing. I am practicing, as you can see. So I switched that, and these are the 3 lines I added. One line is reading the orders, and one line reading the returns, and one reading the people. Yeah, the only difference, they're all the same file name, but here the sheet name. Sheet name is order, sheet name is return, sheet name. Now we did that. I did run that cell by using Control Enter, or you can run here. Now here, because I have 3, I can display one by one. So and I want to show you something that again important for you to know. That's trick or something you will experience. Head, what's wrong with me? Head. Now if I do head for orders come, yeah? You would expect if I come after that and do returns dot head, I'll get the returns as well. Yeah, I'm getting only one. So if you have more than one output in the same cell, you will get only one. How you force it to show you both? You say print, okay, here, and then print here. This way you force it to do both. So I do now. I will see the first one came, and then after that came the second one. But the other option you have, you can have each one on one cell without print. Yeah, so if you keep this like this and you take the return and move it to a new cell, this will work. Yeah, sorry, I'm maybe jumping too much. Let me go back here and run this cell. So that's the cell, and I'm coming down here and running the returns. Here is the returns, and let's get a third one here, and we run what the third one, people. Yeah, people, there are only few people there, so let's run it all as it is. What's wrong with my, did I call it, people here, I did call it with lowercase p. Yeah, so that's a good mistake. It's a case sensitive, as you know. See, these are the people, and there are only three people. Even I do head doesn't make any difference because there are only 4 people there in that list. Okay, so now we have 3, which really something we practiced one more. Okay, there's one more we can add here. As the challenge, we don't need it now, but sometime when you do the head, I give you another sheet example, you have some extra data on the sheet. The extra data at the beginning of your spreadsheet that you don't need. It's not really part of your data, like you have some spaces, you have some text at the top of the sheet, which are not part of the data. The data start in a table somewhere down. So how you can go and read only the data you need. But there's something called skip rows. Skip rows basically, and you put a number here, for example 3, means ignore the first 3 lines in the spreadsheet. Yeah, and you'll find out by just running head. If you display head and you notice all the extra data, so you can skip those data and go to row 3. Yeah, basically this skip rows 3, it says data start from the 3rd row. So ignore the first 2 rows. Yeah. So we don't need it here because we don't have any extra data information, because when we display head, straight came the header, very clear, that's the header. Okay, good. So now we have data. What else we can do? We have seen few things we can do. We can do head, we can do tail. Yeah, tail is the same. And we can do len. Okay, let's do tail. Just say order dot tail. And you get the orders. This is the tail. Tail, you can see the last 5 rows of the data, starting from this are the last rows in your data. So that's starting from the tail. Tail is similar thing. Now assume, looking at the data, I'm sorry I'm jumping through this data too fast, I'm going left and right. Thank you, Alice. I can see you there. Yeah, the data is long, so many columns there. Maybe we don't need all those columns. Maybe we need only the order ID, order date, date of shipment, and the customer. Assume just we need only those columns, yeah, and shipping. We don't need all the other details. Assume, yeah. How we can create a data set from this one that has only those columns? Yeah, that's the next questions we have. No questions. You're not asking me, oh, Dr. Hamad, we cannot see what you are typing. Yeah, that one I answered. I think I fixed maybe. So go back to, okay. I am back here. Now you can see. Okay, so let's say how we can select some of those columns, not all of them, and put them in a data set. And let's focus on the orders, yeah? those orders we have. Now all the things we have here will not work. See, this one, if I use it, will not work because this now changed to be orders. Yeah, orders, and this one changed to be orders. Now when you change, you have to adjust all things based on that change. Now I change everything. Now it's working fine. Now let's play with this order. Yeah, you said we need only a few of these rows. Yeah, there are different way to do it. Yeah, one way, I say orders and open this bracket, and here if I want more than one column, with one column do we used to do that? Just write the column name. Yeah, say I need, for example, we need order ID, for example. Yeah, row ID, leave the row ID, I'm not worried about the row ID, I'll go with order ID. So order ID with space. Now this is showing me one. Yeah, we know that. Now if I have two, can I just add the other one here? Yes and no. It will not work just like that. Yeah, and I'll show you why it's not going to work. So let's take order date and go there and look at that. Yeah, and do this. Now we're getting this up. Okay, let's go back to what we said. With one, we use only one. Yeah. Now if we have two, just basically you need to have one square bracket here and one square bracket here. Now I'll give you a general statement that you can use all the time with this one. When you have more than one column, you always need to put them between square brackets. When there are more than one column, they must go inside a square bracket. So become a square bracket inside a square bracket. And that the way you do it. So we'll do that. Now we have this one. Yeah, we still have a few more rows we need to add. I keep going up and down. Then let's take ship date and ship mode. We already know, and customers. I'm not going up again. So hopefully ship mode, then comma customer ID, yeah, space ID. So do that. Good. So this is the data came here. Now this data I want to take it and put it in a new data frame which I can refer to. Yeah. So I can come here, and instead of this I can add a variable here. We'll say short order. Yeah. Or S order. I like short names. Okay, S order is for me is the short order that has only a few columns. Yeah. So now run. Anytime I want to show that, I can say S order dot head or dot whatever I want. Now I'm getting a new frame, data frame that I created from the big data frame by selecting those columns that I need. And that's the way to start slicing your data or dividing your data in smaller parts, so to simplify your analysis, or maybe focus on what you need to focus on it. I can see a message here. Thank you for that. Okay, good. Okay, now team, I'm really enjoying it. I can go on and on and on as much as we want to do, but I think this is the first time we're doing it today, so we're practicing it. It seems the technology is working and setup is working. next time we will, I'll try to see how I can improve the quality of the videos you're seeing. I think it's okay. You can see it, I think, but maybe not the best. But I will see what I can do. And I think we'll have more participation, hopefully, from others. And if we practice every day and practice, then things will be easy. And come with questions, please. Get me some questions so we can look at it. And then we go through how we can answer those questions. Now there are more things I can cover today, but just I think we'll stop here today, and then we will come next time. I think 1 hour every day for me is fine. Honestly, this hour I spend every day on, regardless of how busy I am, I spend it working on something and related outside the normal work I do with all the work we do. It's mostly into programming, learning new things, exploring new ideas and stuff like that. So we can do this together, and hopefully this will help everyone to get prepared for whatever we want to do. So thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoy the video. If you wait for a few seconds, there are 7 of you still there. I can post for you a feedback that you can tell me, or maybe I think maybe it's better I post it for you now. Do you want to do that, or you want I'll do it some other time? Can you write something in the chat? Now I can see only no more questions. Now this menti.com is very useful. You don't see it, but I'm going to create just a quick feedback, and I'll send you this one to look at it, and then you fill it. There are only 7 of you. But again, it's something that I can relate to. So we'll call it session 1 feedback. And I will just call it rate your satisfaction with the first session. So I'll do this. Rate your okay, then I need to enter session. You didn't see it. I'm still doing it for Anand. Thank you, Anand. Of course, I will share the library with everyone. In the notes I'm sending you hopefully tomorrow. It's ready, just I sent it to someone to do proofreading, because sometimes I just, I just go too fast on things and focusing on the ideas more than the language. I need someone to check it for me from a distance and say, oh, Hamad, you missed this one, was not clear, you need to add something here. So I just sent it for proofreading as a first, and it will be tomorrow morning will be ready, and then we'll send it to all of you. It has all the link to all these libraries which we created. It has also the link to the video and all the components. Sorry, strongly satisfied. Neither. Okay. Strongly so I get some issues here. But anyway, okay, I'll just now put this one on the screen. Now you will get a different number. be honest. Don't worry. I just need to find what will make you more satisfied and what really fits your needs, so we can adjust it and we get it done. So now something will come on the screen and you can see it. The number is different, 411731. Good thing I don't know who you are, I don't have any data, and so you can free say your opinion and without feeling not happy about what your opinion. So you get this one and you just do this, and I'll share in a few minutes. While you do that, you go and get the library and what we created today, because I didn't do that, and I'll send it by email while those of you who are doing their satisfaction with mail, not with mail. I didn't see any. Oh, that too, very good. This is very useful also, this menti.com. If you use it in the classroom with your students, you just improve their participation as well. There is a way on these questions you ask. Hopefully next time we'll have more people. You can allow students to rate questions asked by others. So if there are so many questions, you can focus on those questions that are important for everyone. And this is really a useful thing by allowing people to rate other people's questions. So you can address the important question later. And if you cannot answer the question in the class, now you know what are those questions important to everyone, then you prepare an answer for it, which is really useful thing to do. I can see only 3 of you did. You see it live, so you look at it. So I should have asked a question. Do you want this one to continue? And that I leave it to you. Maybe you put it in the chat, you put it somewhere. But I think it's a question that I missed asking you. If you want this such session to continue. For me, as I said, I really don't mind. I'll do that, and because I feel I'm responsible for the success of this course, because I played some role in getting it to the system. So I want everyone to be ready and successful in meeting this course requirement. And it's very important course, as I said before. And through our discussion with so many stakeholders, they always say we need a course like this. So hopefully it will help everyone. Yes, it is somehow challenging for students who come not from IT, but they will get used to it. The practice, they will maybe, I have seen students who are outside CIS engineering doing excellent in courses like this, and I think they can continue to do that. Okay, link to the library. Seems there are some people not satisfied, but they are shy to tell me that Hamad did bad job. Please do that, don't worry. Dear all, here is the link to the code we covered on the live session from the live session. Okay. Okay, I think I shared, I'm not sure if I shared the library. No, I think I should share the library. Now I'm doing it and correct. Before, I think what I was doing was sharing only the code, but now I'm sharing the library as well. This library is not in the book which I'm sending to you or in the slide because we just did it now. Yeah? Okay. This system telling me that the YouTube that there are 7 people still watching. But I'm not sure if you are still watching or you're done. Very good. Excellent. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so I hate just to leave you and go. I can see some people just join now. The 8th person just came now. And you're wondering now, what are we doing? You're right. Okay, so just we will leave and I'll talk to you. I'll just do one change on this survey and keep it open so in case you want to do this later, so I can go and leave you doing it. Yes. Next time I'll get a green screen and other things so you can see me as well. Audience driven. Now it's different. Now you can continue answering this survey if you want to continue. Thank you very much. I hope you find this useful, and we'll see you next time. Tomorrow we have our meeting for all of us, and we'll talk about the things we need to do, and hopefully I'll send you all the material in the morning so you have access to it, and then maybe you can continue. I don't mind in the weekend if people think this is useful. We can do one session during this weekend, and then starting from Sunday we'll do every day 1 hour. We can, I'm sure all of us will benefit from that one, and it will help with getting ready for this course. Thank you very much and enjoy your time. Bye bye.